All right, guys, we're going to talk about New World economics and trade. This is the first time I've done this, so let's see how this goes. All right, keep in mind that you can always pause and write, answer the questions that you need to write while we're going. So, from when I mean New World economics and trade, I'm talking about from England to Africa to New World, the trade that develops as they start to colonize the 13 colonies. And also talking about the economic reasons or motivations for England to want to colonize the Americas, not just why the colonists wanted to go there, but why England would want colonies and what they wanted out of the colonies themselves. So the first thing is mercantilism, or some people call it commercialism. Now, keep in mind, no one follows mercantilism anymore, but as trade developed between Europe, Africa, and the Americas, this economic theory developed in which, well, you can read it there, a country attempts to amass wealth through trade with other countries, but that's exporting always more than they import. Now, if you don't know what exporting means, export, ex is Latin for out or out of port. What's in ports? Ships. So essentially, as a country, you're trying to sell more than you buy from other countries, all right? By exporting more than you import, you're bringing wealth into your country away from other countries. Now, the idea of mercantilism is like this pizza here. See the pizza? That there's only so much wealth in the world, like there's only so much pizza, or only so many slices of pizza in a pizza pie. So if you're going to get wealthier, you've got to take your slice and make it bigger, or get a bigger slice of the pie, and you do that by selling more than you get from other countries. Selling more to other countries, and you don't want to buy anything from them. All right, so how does that encourage England or France or Spain to want more colonies? Well, what the colonies provide is raw goods. In England, they want to manufacture goods. All right, so the colonies provide the raw goods. What are raw goods? Pretty much anything that comes out of the ground, anything that's natural. The example I've got here for you is England's textile mills. Textile mills make clothes. So England wants colonies to provide the cotton, grow the cotton, provide the cotton, ship it to England, make clothes out of it, sell it to other countries, and then no one in England has to buy cotton from, say, French colonies, or buy clothes from other countries. Everything that they need for this industry is produced within England or her colonies and can be sold to other countries. The enforcement of mercantilism. So how is it that they get colonies and people in England to say, we're only going to buy from England or her colonies so that we can export, the extra? And that would be the Navigation Acts. The Navigation Acts were a series of laws that restricted the use of foreign ships for trade between Britain and its colonies. They began in 1651 and even 200 years later. Not that England always enforced the Navigation Acts, but we'll get to that later. So pretty much what the Navigation Act said was that colonists had to sell their stuff to England, buy stuff from England, and always had to use English ships to do so. All right. Joint stock companies. Now, we've already been over this a little bit, but it's a company whose stock is owned jointly by the shareholders. The biggest thing about joint stock companies, examples you already have, like the Virginia Company, Massachusetts Bay Company, is they allow for colonization by distributing the finances to start colonies over a large group of people. Another famous English joint stock company is Dutch East India Tea Company, which, if you watch like Pirates of the Caribbean, that's the company that's always trying to get Captain Jack and hang him and whatever. All right, triangle trade. Triangle trade is a system in which slaves, crops, and manufactured goods were traded between Africa, the Caribbean, and the American colonies. The middle part of that passage is the passage from Africa to the New World that the slaves took, unwillingly, obviously. So you just need to know triangle trade, and I'm going to give you some examples of that. So you go from Europe to Africa. That's the first leg of triangle trade. Second leg is the Middle Passage, the route from Africa to the New World, where slave ships brought slaves to the New World. And then the last part, from the New World to England, where the raw goods were taken to England, or say France, for French colonies, to France to be manufactured into goods to be sold within the country, and then obviously other countries following mercantilistic policies. And there you go. All right.